Hey guys, welcome back to the audio playthrough of the life and suffering of Sir Brante. Today we begin in Chapter 2, The Shadow of the Past. Another school day has ended. You are making your way home, still mulling over things you have learned from your teachers. The founding of the empire, the eternal and unshakable rule of a single dynasty, the three estates, each with its own rights. What an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At least it sounds that way when your teachers talk about it. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently when she sees you, yet her expression still shows great concern. Father left on a trip to several distant Magrarian towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother has been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? You join Mother in a prayer to the twins. You pray with fervent and sincerity. Her head bows low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater design in a barely audible whisper. You repeat after her just as you were taught ever since you were a little boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. John, my son, you are 13 now. You'll be grown soon. It's time you learn about certain things that are important to our family. Difficult things. It's about your father and me, about our marriage. You gaze curiously at Mother's eyes. Your mother says, I'm sorry you've wondered about this before. Your father is a nobleman of the mantle, so how could he marry a commoner with another man's child? You see, John, your father, when his first wife, Amelia Elborn, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockeries and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me. May his name be forever forgotten. The twins know I was humble and honored, his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Mother falls silent, summoning the courage to continue. Gloria is that nobleman's daughter, but he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with lowborn progeny? He turned me out on the street with that little baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. Take her hand tenderly. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges there would help me find justice against my former master. But when Sir Robert heard my plea, his eyes met mine, and I believe that at that very moment, the twins themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me that there was nothing he could do to make that detestable nobleman marry me, but he would never abandon me and baby Gloria, and if I agreed, he would take me into his own home. Tears are running down Mother's cheek. And I knew it, my son. I knew how much his honor and reputation would suffer. But caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect and care for others. But his decision to marry me, he is still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather, the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. If only you knew the despicable rumors we heard about the Brants all over Anysimti. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Brant bloodline managed to hang on with what little remained of its reputation. And now the noble families have all but forgotten about the scandal. Thank the twins. Mother falls silent. She looks at you intently. Do you understand what she is telling you? My son, I'm telling you not just to share the pain of my past. I have no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. And Gloria, she can never be a Brant. Even if the elder Brant agrees, the news would stir up the old scandal in the minds of the high society. And if that were to happen, John, they would see even your birth as illegitimate. What I told you just now is something you have to know, son. You are about to enter adult life. By my lot, I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family. But may I ask you a question? Now that you know all this, do you still see Gloria as your sister? In distance, I can accept Gloria as your sister. Regardless of her origins, Gloria will always be family. What is good for the family is good for you. You will be more wary when dealing with Gloria from now on. Or I can evade the question. You do not want to disappoint Mother or Gloria, but you are not ready to promise anything yet. Well, I think we need to improve the family unit, but I don't want to abandon my sister. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'll distance myself from Gloria. Hopefully that increases the family. You stand up straight, then softly, politely thank Mother for her warning. From this point on, you will be more wary and prudent when it comes to Gloria. You are not a noble yet, but you are still responsible for the family's reputation. You understand very well that internal family matters could drag the family into dishonor at any moment. Mother's eyes fill with sorrow and understanding. That's right, John. You're right to put your family first. It is your duty to carry on the bloodline after all. No matter what happens to me or Gloria, I will always be grateful to this home for everything it has given us. Just then, you hear Gloria carefully knock at the door of Mother's chamber. Oh my gosh, she was listening in. Game is so punishing. Mother, John, I couldn't find you, Gloria says. You cut her off. You and Mother are discussing something important. Gloria should wait until you are done. Why, John? You're growing up quickly. Did you learn that from your elder brother or grandfather, perhaps? Gloria snarls back at you, but still does as she is told and leaves. With a sigh, Mother gives you a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers. When you leave, Mother remains alone by her bedside, thanking the twins for the gift of humility with a quiet prayer. Okay, so both of them suffer relationship negative, but I got some nobility. All right. In the year 1131, fall, the flash and the flame. You are 13 now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about the priests and why the clergy is the only one of the three estates with the right to interpret the laws and guide the other two estates accordingly. Thomas sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he fervently writes down the teacher's every word. But you heard all this from Mother many times, so you take this moment to daydream a little. Father promises to take you to the capital once your studies are complete. But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look around the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of your classmates. A boy by the name Brian jumps out of his seat. The teacher asks him to repeat what he just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated, and someone is about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed and his eyes are covered in tears. You all watch the boy teacher's iron-bound book as he raises it sharply, about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash. The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair is ablaze and his skin is covered in horrible burns. It's magic, real magic, just like in the books about the Magura rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There is a dull thud as the iron-bound book falls to the floor. Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fire in his eyes and sparks on his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his fingers, and the book of Asterius on the desk turn into pillars of flame, and the books of Asterius on the desks turn to pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arm. The curtains catch fire. The screams grow louder as the fire howls. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames, and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps towards the door. You and Thomas glance at each other. He's going to burn the whole school down. Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor. Even though his clothes, his body sears your flesh. Brian screams, convulsing, and grabs Thomas by the shoulder with his burning hands. Thomas howls but stays put, then knocks Brian senseless with several fierce blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Thomas remain next to Brian, who is lying on the floor silent. Soon, 3 men in black coats enter the door at the school, each bearing an edict seal with silver. The Inquisition! You and Thomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. One of the Inquisitors remains behind to tell the teachers what happened. That was magic, he explains, the ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold it at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us all from its evil grasp. The next day, you are forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. Thomas is quickly becoming a good friend. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther Tempest was anointed to rule over the Empire. 100 years ago. Blessed by the twins themselves, the Empire's reign continues into its 2nd century. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks because of that. On one of those evenings, Father tells everybody that Grandfather is going to bring Stefan back home for the holiday. They say families should celebrate the day of anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With his noble education, Stefan might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. Soon, Stefan arrives. He now handles himself differently. When it comes to ordering servants around and ignoring Gloria, he is still his grandfather's double, but he is more grown up now and far less haughty to you. It is a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands of Magra. You and Stefan are sitting in the library. He is telling you all about Eterna, the capital of the Empire. It is full of so many wonders: the Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of the Twins, the Military Academy, the Imperial College. You have read so much about those places, and yet he has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, not in the kitchen. I heard she went to sneak off to the ruins of Char Melendez's palace. She could be lost there. You and Stefan exchange looks. Char Melendez, the rebellious duke, the ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still linger there, which means you absolutely have to make your way there and back again to prove you are not afraid of the long-dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves and soon returns with his sword in its sheath. Get ready, John. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone to the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes. The 2 of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and your elder brother head outside. You are confused by Stefan's actions. He refuses to treat Gloria like a human being, so why is he still so determined to rescue her? Stefan notices your expression. Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria will never be a Brant, but Father still took her into our house. I must respect his seniority and defend Gloria like she is one of our own. You are a Brant too, noble or not, which means it is your duty to aid me. The ruins of Char Melendez's palace span an entire district. The palace was abandoned centuries ago, and its remnants are overgrown with thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty, nothing but cold wind blowing over crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of the land steer clear of this place. You make your way through the ruins until you spot scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. Your sister's writing. You hear a loud laughter coming from behind a dilapidated stone wall nearby. You pull yourself over to peer over it. Gloria is lying on the ground face down, twitching and sobbing. A gaggle of drunk young thugs surround her, crackling and swinging their arms about. You hear their shouts. Look at the lass, sitting there writhing words together. She thinks she's all noble, but don't you worry, you low-born tart. We're gonna teach you your place. One of the louts spits on Gloria as she lies there. Get away from her this instant, you bastard, or I'll spill your guts. They respond with mocking laughter. Stefan jostles the Lord. Street thugs recoil in fear. They soon notice that he is only one armed man against many. They start reaching out for sticks and stones. Stay by my side. Don't let them flank me. Stefan's hand shakes, but he looks ready for battle. He's outnumbered for a moment. Hesitate, but it might be better to run for the nearby district and call for guards. These young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They start approaching you and Stefan cautiously. So I could charge the attackers, and this would certainly be an audacious move. I could follow my brother's. Let's follow my brother's orders. This will improve my relationship with Stefan. Or I can call the guards, leave the fist fighting to Stefan, and run for help. What do I need? Abilities at 3. I need ingenuity as well, and spirituality. Calling the guards is ingenuity. I think that's clever. You lots try to flank Stefan and surround him. Your brother's sword thrusts and feints methodically, like in a training bout. Thugs keep dodging and jumping away. They've managed to stay safe so far. If things continue like this, soon one of them will flank Stefan, kick the sword out of his hand, and bring him down. The ruffian's paying no attention to you, however. Stefan slashes with his sword. One of the young fellows falls. The other rushes at your brother. You get Gloria back on her feet as she stares at you in astonishment. It's time to find the guards. You find guards dressed in the Archduke's colors, patrolling a nearby district. You tell them that a gang of low-born thugs are assaulting a young nobleman. But when you make your way back, the louts' bodies are already fading away. Stefan is on his feet, his sword sticking in the last foe left standing. He smiles at you faintly, then his eyes roll back into his head and he collapses. The guards help you bring Stefan back home. Grandfather sends for the doctor. The moment he sees that his favorite grandson is unconscious, the doctor quickly brings Stefan back to his senses and bandages the arms on his left arm. Sir Gregor never leaves Stefan's side. You acted like a true nobleman, Stefan. You fought for the family's honor, even though you needn't have risked your life for that freeloading wench. The burden of a noble is a tough one to bear. We must obey our lot so that the lonely estate may toil for theirs. But when the low-born scum grow insolent, we must be there to put them in their place. Now I fully believe that, thanks to you, the grand name will be written in the blue book, my boy. Your deeds will forever be remembered in our family's blood tide, and all of us will be there. Yeah, you, your father, all of us. Words cannot express how proud I am of you. You leave your brother's side without a word. Grandfather will never recognize you as Stefan's equal, father's true heir. He will never treat you as part of the family. He thinks you will not add a single worthy deed to the family's blood tide. You, Nathan, mother, acts like all of you are unworthy to bear the grand name. Had you acted differently that night, would grandfather be proud of you? Who knows? So +1 on ingenuity. Before long, the entire city hears how a gang of low-born thugs assaulted Stefan Brante. Grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them are taken into custody as soon as lesser devs release them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefect Elborn, a friend of your family, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure that justice is served. Stefan and Grandfather decide to stay in Anizuti until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every assailant. You ask Father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can worldly judgment overrule the twins' law? Your words are true, my son. Their law is second to none, yet the twin gods also made the empire and all its ways. court of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Shall the court of law sentence a person to death? Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law above will always enforce it, and so every execution brings true death. The commoners who assaulted Stephen, a grave nobleman, have committed a grave offense. There is no doubt about that. And yet, according to the emperor's decree, even commoners have the right to defend themselves when they are about to face true death. This means that all of us will have to appear at the trial and testify before the court. Evening comes, Gloria visits your room. She looks crestfallen, and her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You put away your school books and ask what is bothering her. The trial is tomorrow. I thought I was going to appear there too as an eyewitness after all. This whole mess started because of me. But Sir Robert isn't even going to mention that I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Why am I always in the way? Nobody even mentions me. Nobody has to listen to me. It's like I don't even exist. And I thought Stephen standing up for me finally meant something. Perhaps I will become part of the family. But no, everything is back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back the tears. You do your best to comfort her. Father just needs to keep the family out of trouble. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he take me into the house at all? Gloria walks away. You return to your books. You can't help but get lost in thought. What if you had told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There is a knock at the door. It is Father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There is an exhausted look around him. Son, you will be testifying before the court tomorrow. Please remember what I'm about to tell you. Gloria wasn't at the ruins at all. You were there with your brother to inspect the historic site. The low-born men insulted Stephen first and then attacked him. Stephen had managed to deal with the assailants on his own by the time the guards intervened. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather will never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We're all counting on you. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled under the feet of those crackling thugs. Her poetry, her greatest treasure, scattered on the ground. She thinks she's all noble. Those were the words they spat down at her. Doesn't grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she was part of the family? If you do what Father tells you, the trial will end tomorrow, and will end quickly. The commoners will face true death for assaulting a noble. If you mention Gloria, things get complicated, and you cannot predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you? What is right? Or what is just? Do I support Father? You will do as Father told you, and avoid mentioning Gloria to the court. Lie to Father. You agree with Father now, but you will tell the truth later. Or you convince Father to change his mind. Let's see here. Reputation is pretty bad. Can't risk blowing up the reputation. I don't want to lie. That could also blow up the reputation. And this would also, both of these kills the reputation. So I think I'm going to support Father here. It's the only way. If you're not in agreement, you will follow the family plan for the trial to the letter. A faint smile appears on Father's fatigued face. Thank you, son. This is an important case for our family and for me as well. I appreciate your support. The day comes, the trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city prefecture. Sir Elborn himself presides as a judge. You are seated next to Father and Stephen. You testify to the court one after another. You echo your brother's testimony to the letter. Young commoners insulted you as you were both walking by the ruins. Then they assaulted you. Stephen defeated you. The lives of the four thugs are forfeit. Sir Elborn rises to deliver the sentence. The court of Enizuti judges you guilty for assaulting Stephen Brante and noblemen. All four defendants are sentenced to true death by hanging. There is no wind. You feel a gust sweep through the hall. The defendants turn pale. The mothers are bawling and crying. Everybody in the court feels the dreadful power of the law, and it is stern and just. That very power has been invoked by this sentence, and by that very sentence, the lives of the four young men are literally forfeit for all eternity. The gallows await. Stephen and grandfather stand in the front row. The wood creaks. The trapdoors open on the young man's feet. They dangle in the air, wheezing and reaching out for support with their feet in their final moments. Father lets out an inaudible sigh of relief. It is over. It is all over now. When Gloria comes back home the day after, she refuses to eat dinner and locks herself in her room. Before she leaves, however, you notice a scratch on her face and her hair is disheveled. You go to her room and knock at the door. She will not open. Then she finally replies, she has already gone to bed and you should leave. Did you do the right thing during the trial? Your sister is still being bullied. No one knows she has a family to defend her, and Gloria does not want to be defended now. Those 4 commoners saw no mercy. Their lives ended for assaulting a nobleman. What did you seek to prove with this, and to whom? Was it worth it in the end? I got reputation back. Didn't taste bitter taste in my mouth for it. Well, we gotta improve everything to 4 somehow. Agony. Stefan leaves soon after the trial alone. Grandfather does not go with him. The first time in a long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Several months go by. It will become clear that grandfather will not recover. The eldest Brante is mostly bedridden now. On some days, he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your family's name. But when he does go out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quietly in your room. If grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, no one heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Brante family has lost its honor. Again and again, you hear grandfather knocking at mother's door, screaming that it is all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses outright. It is late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty, save for you, Nathan, Gloria, mother, and grandfather in his bed. Father has left for the capital on business. You are engrossed in the history of the empire, snapping out of your reverie. Only when the clock strikes midnight, you blow out the candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather, what could he want in the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway. Once he is past, grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door to mother's chambers. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him saying something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words. Gregor Brante says, "You foul commoner, I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin, you and what you have done to Robert and this family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from tainting this house by your presence. Why, oh why, I didn't do it. Why didn't I do it?" Lydia Brante says, "Please, Sir Brante, I beg of you." Gregor Brante replies, "Silence. You will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse all low-born filth from this place. Fire and flame will free Robert from his disgrace. This is for my son's sake, for my son's sake, for my son's sake, for my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins, they are calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it." Lydia Brante says, "I beg of you, please have mercy." Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Father's gaunt figure looms over your mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother is falling out of his bed, crying, "Please, just let me warn the children. I beg of you, Sir Brante." Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. Gregor Brante says, "Stay out of this, John. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. I see only my sins now, and a sinner I am, a sinner. The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away. Mother is crying. Grandfather is still looming over the bed, driven by madness. His hand shakes as it clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You are suddenly torn. What if he is right? What if that is the only way for his soul to find salvation? There's no going back now. You have but a moment to act. You can run away and rescue Nathan and Gloria, and rescue them from what is to come. I can stop Grandfather. My willpower is sufficient, and I don't like Gregor, which is obvious, and I don't like her. You run to Mother's side and snatch the lamp away from Grandfather's hands before you can start a fire, or you can let it happen as Grandfather wishes. He has the right to do so, even if it costs you and your lives. Really? Really? I'm pretty sure I just stopped Grandfather here. I mean, burn down the house, burn down the fortune, kill the siblings. How is this possibly the right answer here? Running away, it still burns down the house, still burns down Mother. Come on. It's the only true answer, the only answer I can pick. Stop Grandfather. Just imagine if you had no willpower. It'd be terrible. You look at Grandfather defiantly and step toward him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp on the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug, not nearly enough to start a fire. The lamp's glass is blisteringly hot. It burns your hands, but you still hold on to it safely. You low-born scum, you ruined everything. You're every bit like your mother. You. Enraged, he takes a swing and you squeeze your eyes shut. But he does not hit you. Instead, there is a deep exhalation. You peek at him with one eye, just in time to see him collapse. All his strength fading away, his chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt. Another heavy exhalation, the contempt is gone, there is only fear now. Grandfather's eyes open wide, almost in surprise, he exhales. His eyes grow dim. Mother is there, whispering a prayer. She's shaking violently. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table and call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not disappear. True death has found him. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with Mother in the sitting room. She will not let go of your hand. For many, many nights afterwards, she keeps seeing Grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Yep, so... well, he's dead. He hates us, but he's dead, so it doesn't matter. Father returns for a turn in the morning after. He is unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. The house becomes quiet, not the looming, heavy sort of quiet of the past few months, but the calm relief you all feel when the crazed old man is no more. At last, Gregor Brante, the family patriarch, has departed for the hereafter. So I got one nobility, one ingenuity, but it cost me a little bit of willpower. Oh, I got nobility up to 4. That's fantastic. Now just one ingenuity, and I'll have enough for one of. So I'll have enough for Stefan's event, and then ingenuity I'll have one for Sophia's event, or not Sophia, sorry, for Gloria's event. So hopefully we'll get there. Grandfather's demise. Your grandfather, Sir Gregor Brante, left this world forever to meet the twin gods. Last respects, the night of Grandfather's death shook your family to the core, yet no matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Brante, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family. The Brante patriarch exerts his influence on all our lives before him, below him. All of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stefan locks himself away in the grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound that so much as resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. Yet the house has become calm and quiet with this passing. But there is one more thing that must be done. The final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stefan, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles or those who may become nobles may join this ritual. There is a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father is the only one who breaks the silence. When you finally reach the door of this family crypt, your grandfather built this crypt, and now he will be the first Brant to remain here in body forever. The first ever noble in our family. It is our duty to now hold to the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Brant dynasty. Stefan perks up at his father's words. His hand still clutches grandfather's sword. A tradition decreed that it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved out of white stone lead you downward. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respects. Robert Brant says, Gregor Brant, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Brant family ennobled by the sword, so that our children's children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abide by my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets out a bitter chuckle as he says this. Stefan glares at Father, then turns to glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you were born of Father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember this disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved. Yet we must know that he fought for the future he believed in to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with this sacrament of the nobility. Stefan still glares at Father sullenly. His fingers remain clutched around grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let your blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then the ancestor and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing, for his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are a part of him. He is a part of you. With a quick motion, Father slices his hand and holds the bleeding cut above a small opening in the wall. Then he hands the dagger to Stefan. Stefan cuts his hand without hesitation and does as Father did. You receive the dagger next. The dagger handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Brant blood tide. You, a low-born child, and a child who is still a commoner. You are ready to claim your legacy as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Brant? Are you ready to claim your legacy as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Grant? The eyes of your father and brother are upon you. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. So there's only one decision. I can't ask for my grandfather's blessing because my nobility is only 4. And I can't bleed because I don't have the nobleman's sacrament. I didn't have the willpower to basically demand it at my sacrament. So I must give it back. You return the dagger to Father and say you cannot participate in the ritual. You are a commoner and your back bears the mark of the lash. Grandfather would never let you honor his name as a nobleman. Nathan nods in agreement. You do not deserve this honor. Father furrows his brow and shakes his head. Stefan, help me close the lid of the sarcophagus and remember to ask for grandfather for his blessing. And as for you two, it seems you weren't ready to walk the nobleman's path. After all, you're right, son. Your grandfather would never have allowed it. The lid of the sarcophagus falls into place with a heavy, resonant thud. Then suddenly you all freeze as each of you hear your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is loud as it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately. Foul blood rise above your meager birth, John. You have not a drop of nobility in you, and your pathetic little brother is the same. You are a taint upon my flesh and blood. Begone from my crypt. Your legs carry you out of the crypt of their own accord, out of the stuffy crypt. You can finally breathe again. You hear slow footsteps behind you. You turn around and meet Nathan's gaze. You did the right thing. If it weren't for you, I'd have done what Father told us. Grandfather said I should stay away from his legacy. Said it'd be no good if I tried to follow in his footsteps. How's that for words of guidance, eh? Nathan sighs as he embraces you. Father and Stefan leave the crypt much later and walk to the carriage without a word. You and Nathan humbly follow behind them. This event has a consequence of your previous actions. Nobility is greater than or equal to 4. Another day of school is behind you. You are now walking the district, taking your time before going home. It is getting dark. Soon you are walking past the splendid mansion of Count El Vesco, one of Magra's richest landlords. You hear a familiar voice from the other side of the iron fence. It is Stefan's voice. It is followed by the sound of a young lady laughing, titled Forbidden Love. You peek through the fence and into the mansion's garden, and indeed there you see your older brother dressed like he is going to meet the Emperor himself. He is currently busy helping a pretty young lady out of the window. She locks him in an emotional embrace. You recognize her, Maria Elvesco, Count Elvesco's daughter, and as the whole city knows, she is already betrothed to another young nobleman from a far more illustrious family. Oh, Maria, I thought I would help you come down to earth from your heavenly abode, but your very touch brings me to the heavens. He picks the Count's daughter up and holds her in the air. She laughs almost imperceptibly and kisses him on the cheek, but then Stefan takes her by the chin and turns her to face him. Their lips join in a kiss. A flurry of emotion watches over you as you watch it happen. Stefan is putting the reputation of his entire family at risk. Acting so frivolously with the Count's daughter may turn the Count's influence against all the Brants. And yet Stefan always speaks so highly of noble bearing and composure and family and honor. Stefan's face is glowing with joy. Your older brother, he is happy, truly happy. You have never seen Stefan like this, as his arms hold the Count's daughter in a tender embrace, so gently as though he feared to hurt her, and Maria reciprocates his feelings. Must you really rob them of their secret joy? If you ever speak to him about this, no one else must hear it. You wait by the gate patiently until Stefan decides to return from his escapades. He is startled when he finally notices you standing by the gate. Alright, 2 options. Remind him what a nobleman's honor really means. If Stefan keeps acting this way, he will bring disgrace upon the entire family. Or you can aid Stefan in his cause. You promise him you will keep your brother's secret. Hopefully this increases our reputation. We really need it. And maybe this will increase nobility too. Yeah, let's go for it. You fold your arms as you face your elder brother. He is confused to see you there. You speak to him openly. You know of his affair with Maria Elvesco, and Stefan should forget that young lady as soon as humanly possible. He freezes at those words. You keep talking. Noble cannot behave like this. Stefan is risking bringing shame on all the Brants, and worse yet, he is defying his own lot, his own words, his honor, Maria's honor, the family's honor. It will all be harmed by his recklessness. How could Stefan have forgotten about this? How could he let his emotions rule him? What should you have to be there to remind a born noble about this? You who were born a commoner. Stefan frowns, but lets you keep talking. You wait for his anger, but there is none. When you are finally done speaking, your brother stays quiet for a long moment and then sighs heavily. Yes, indeed you're right. I lost control of myself. Maria, I am a madman in her presence. I forget the world when I'm with her, and I forgot my duty to my lot and my family. I will part ways with Lady Elvesco and offer my apologies to her father. My brother, thank you. You reminded me of who I am. From that day on, Stefan stops going out at night. His attitude toward you has changed too. He now looks at you with respect, as if he has finally come to see you as an equal. Even in his anger, he is now quick to recall your brave decision to stop himself. Okay, I like it. Alright guys, we're going to call it here. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, subscribe button. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Hope you have a great one, guys.